Hey! You are listening to the Grumpy Guy BJJ Podcast.
Hey, what's up, guys? Got to take care of a few things before we jump into this week's episode. First, our Ramping Isometrics for BJJ program. It is a 12-week program, all laid out for you. It's going to help you build strength and cardio in the fastest, safest, and most convenient way possible. This is how James and I have been training for the past year, and we love it. So we put this program together so you can just follow along, and we are certain you will see and feel the benefits that we do. It's only $15. Just go to grumpyguybjj.com, click the drop-down menu in the upper right-hand corner, and you'll find it. Next, R3. This is our K2 D3 supplement. It is a combination of those two vitamins, D3 and K2. These are two vitamins that James and I have been taking for a long time that really help us recover from hard training sessions. And for only $15 with free shipping, you get a whole month's supply. I was going to pull up some studies explaining the benefits of D3 and K2, but I'm not going to insult your intelligence and pretend to be a fucking scientist. I take it. It helps me recover. That's it. So for $15, check it out. And last but certainly not least, we have partnered up with Jiu-Jitsu.com. They have a ton of awesome BJJ instructionals, and they have hooked us up with a discount code for our listeners. It's Grumpy10. So what you got to do is you go to Jiu-Jitsu.com, which is DIGITSU.com. Find the instructionals you want, throw them in a shopping cart. In the little discount code box, you type in Grumpy10, which is just GRUMPY and the number 10. 10. That's it. No spaces. Boom. You get 10% off. You're up and running. They got a nice app you can download on your phone. That way you can take your instructionals right to the gym with you, watch the technique, drill it. It's a pretty sweet setup. So once again, DIGITSU.com. Discount code Grumpy10, GRUMPY10. Simple as that. To find all this stuff I just got done talking about, go to our website, grumpyguybjj.com. Click the drop-down menu in the upper right-hand corner. There, you'll subscribe to our newsletter for podcast updates. You'll find links for the Ramping Isos program, the R3 Recovery Supplement, and then under the Programs and Products tab, you'll find a link to Jiu-Jitsu.com. And let's be honest, if you guys can't figure out how to navigate a website by now, there's nothing I can do to help you. So quit fucking around, check it out, train hard, and let's get into this week's episode. And boom.
Boom, boom. Here we are.
Back once again, Saturday morning, early pre-training podcast.
Dude, today's a momentous day. Today we are going to have our first rolls at Fruita BJJ.
This evening, after we tape the mats.
Yes. To me,
it's exciting.
It is exciting.
That was one of the first things I thought about when I woke up this morning. I was like, so we're going to be taping the mats. We're going to be training on some new mats tonight.
Yeah. Yep. Breaking it in. It's going to be a real jiu-jitsu.
Who's coming to help tape the mats, did you say?
Man, last night, Callum said he wanted to come by. Nick, Brazilian Nick, dude, he's all super pumped. He quit his job.
I kind of caught that in passing.
So he's got like a bunch more time to train. So he's like, it's another
he
place
keeps getting these jobs to where he like works more than I do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're young,
man.
You got to take what you can get.
Yeah.
So
good for him. He's a hard worker, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, when
he's a good kid, man. I wish he was around more.
Yeah.
I like Nick. I say kid. He's not that young anymore.
I know he's not, but
he's probably 15.
He's always going to be a kid to us. Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
So
he's a good kid, man.
Yeah. He's going to come by. Trey said he'd stop by. I know Louie is coming by. He's going to be dusting off his shit. So, yeah, it'll be a small little handful. You see what we run into at training today at Grand Valley, and if there's anyone that we want to say stop by. But, it'll be kind of like, I'll have a more official, grand opening mat. Yeah. Well, there'll be a grand opening, but I'm going to have like a grand open mat. You know what I mean? So, though, like this, because we're not going to have our grand opening until like the first of next month. Like, that's when we're officially going to be open and servicing the public and doing all that stuff. But, like, we're going to be in there doing shit before that, obviously. Right. So, I want to have like our, grand open mat where I, invite people to come and have like a, kind of a official, unofficial thing, bust out some barbecue or whatever, and have a little jiu-jitsu party. And so we'll definitely do that here in the next week or two. But just today,
so I think we need to set that as a goal we got to figure out how to make enough profit soon enough to buy a good grill for the gym.
A good what?
Grill.
A grill. Okay,
grill.
yes.
So open mat barbecue. So you open mat, and we got a sweet setup for it.
Yep.
Out back.
Yeah.
Have a grill set up and.
Yeah. Right there. Yep. No, that'll be
kind of cool. Especially come summertime, and it's getting nice out.
Yeah.
Get the grill fired up towards the end of the training session.
Yes.
Throw some burgers and shit on.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've always, it's always been one of those things I thought would be cool.
It would be cool.
So, it'll be fun, man. I'm super excited. I haven't been this excited about something in a long time. Like, I wake up every day, like, pumped. I wake up in the middle of the night, and I'm like, fuck, it's still nighttime.
Fuck, it's still nighttime.
I want it to be tomorrow.
It's not tomorrow yet.
I got exciting shit to do.
A lot of times when I wake up early in the morning, and it's like, should I sleep a little longer? Or should I get up? It's most of my motivation is like, oh, it's today. I can get up. Like, I'm excited. Like, I got stuff I'm going to do today.
Yeah.
Let's just get up and get started.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a good feeling, man.
It is.
It's easy to get, like, a little lethargic. You get in your routine, and it's not a bad routine. Like, not all routines are bad, but they're still routines. So, they can get comfortable, and it's, comfort is the death zone. So you're not growing. That's for sure. When you're comfortable, you're not growing. So this is definitely not comfortable. We were talking about it last night. Like, I gotta fucking look at the timetable. I'm pretty sure it's 3 weeks. Like, I went from I'm opening a gym, like flipping that switch in my head, to mats and a jiu-jitsu gym. Place. Yeah, everything ready to roll in 3 weeks.
That's insane.
Yeah.
It's like the universe. It was the right timing.
Yeah.
And everything just fell into place.
Had to be.
It had, dude, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Because if you were to come to somebody with a business plan, be like, all right, I want to open up a jiu-jitsu gym. Here's a location that I might be interested in renting.
Oh no, I didn't even have a location.
Yeah, you didn't have
nothing.
Like,
I had no plans, but I'm gonna do it.
But if you come to somebody and say, I just have this idea.
Yeah.
I just have this idea. I want to open up a jiu-jitsu gym, and the deadline for me to actually almost be operational is 3 to 4 weeks from today. People would be like, get out of here.
Yeah.
That's not going to... And then all of a sudden it's just like... It's like momentum took off. It's like that snowball started going down that hill.
Yeah.
And you weren't stopping it.
No.
It was just like... It's like the universe was like, you finally saw the light.
Sometimes you just got to hang on for the ride, man. Yeah.
You were in the back corner of that cave, and the light was out there.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of shone through.
Just got to take that first step. Yeah, it's funny, man. Like, the timing was great. I mean, the space we got, I'm just trying to think. I couldn't think of a better space to start. It's, we're going to have 600 square feet of mat space. So it's plenty of room to start and grow. And by the time you fill that, that's a good problem to have. Yep. And move into a bigger spot. So, it's not a huge, I'm not leasing like a 5,000 square foot spot with 1,500 square feet of mat. I mean, that's a lot of overhead. So starting businesses, man, it's good to make small bets. Like, that's the way to do it. Is people get themselves in trouble with the just the giant overhead. They're like, I'm gonna go get a big bank loan. I'm gonna build out this big gym, and it's gonna fucking have all the top shit. And it's like, no, man, it's funny. I learned a lot of lessons opening my other gym. For sure. Just like buying shit that I didn't need. Cause
you had 2 different locations here in town, right?
Yeah.
You had Patterson and then over by Grand Valley.
Well, Pura Vida's in now.
Pura Vita. But it was the same business. You hadn't closed down and then do another venture. You just
we had a 3-year lease at our original spot, and it came up, and so we found that spot.
Gotcha.
And we signed another 3-year lease, and we got through almost, I forget how long it was. We were there about 3 years, and I think maybe it was a 5-year lease we'd signed, because we still had a little bit of time on it. And but yeah, and mainly we shut it down because my online stuff was doing where we didn't need the gym to pay our bills. And the gym, man, running the gym's a giant time suck.
Right, it's a lot of work.
A lot of work. And if you don't really love it, and man, the thing is coaching jiu-jitsu is a completely different thing than coaching fitness. I mean, you've had both experiences. Mm-hmm. You were a CrossFit coach and you coached jiu-jitsu. I mean, there's a difference, right?
I've taught kettlebell classes, and it's a difference.
Different. Totally different.
Yeah, it's totally different.
And it's very hard to stay as enthusiastic and as engaged when you're just coaching fitness than with jiu-jitsu. Like, jiu-jitsu is just Like, I don't know. Like, I could never get bored fucking talking and coaching jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And people come...
You'll get bored of, like, if when doing basics
listen,
class.
You go to an extreme, I know. That's why, like, my first goal, again, I learned a lot of lessons, which is I know that you can get burned out on shit if you do it too much.
Yep.
And so that's where, like, hiring coaches and having someone to help, like, that's our first goal, right? Like, we still have to have a conversation so I can get a number from you because, I've already told you, my first goal is to get where I can have you come and help coach classes. Like, it's not, I get to make money. It's, no, I want to invest in a fucking coach so that I'm not doing all the coaching because that's going to be the best way to keep everybody enthusiastic about this whole project rather than doing it all yourself. So, no, I totally agree, but taken to an extreme, you can get tired of doing anything.
Yep. But
the overall, just, people approach jiu-jitsu differently than they do going to a workout, doing fitness. Like when you come into jiu-jitsu, you are coming there to learn a skill. When you go to work out, you're going there to work out.
I just want to sweat.
Exactly. That's the hardest thing that you have as a fitness coach is getting people to understand that, like, no, you're practicing a movement skill. And if you don't practice it well, you're going to hurt yourself and you're going to cause problems. Like 9/10 of your job as a coach when you're doing fitness coaching stuff is making sure that people aren't hurting themselves. Right?
Yep.
And why are they hurt? Why are they about to hurt themselves all the time?
Because they're not treating it like a skill. And
they're not
they're just going through the moves.
Exactly. They're
like,
just
I just want to sweat. I don't want to think about this.
Yeah.
Just jump on a spin bike and go.
Yeah, I just want to put my fucking headphones in and just, I don't want to hear it. And, you're an asshole for bothering them sometimes, right? Like coming up and like, come on, man, no, we talked about this. Make sure that you're, driving with the hips, not using the lower back so much or whatever it is. And it's like, some people are into it, but a lot of people are just hearing like, wah, 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 and they're just like, dude, whatever, man. I just got to get my work in. The fucking workout said I got to get 5 sets of 5 with, 325 on this deadlift, man. So, like, the magic, it's fucking magic, right? It's a magic formula I have to follow. And it's like, oh, God, it's just so backwards. And so dealing with people in that environment, it's so hard. I'm not made for it. I feel like fitness coaches, like, they're more like kind of the rah-rah, like the more kind of like rah-rah and like, yeah, just upbeat you are kind of thing. Like being a highly technical coach doesn't necessarily benefit you coaching fitness on a regular basis.
No, not for the masses. I mean,
not for the masses.
If you just have a few select clients, they can
right.
Really,
you're working at an elite level with a niche, right?
Which that's where it fits.
Right, that's where it can fit.
But if you just want to mass produce people, make as much money as possible, or just you don't want they don't want to hear super technical, and nerd out on the movement patterns.
Don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
they just want to go in there and they just want to break a sweat. And
up.
so they just want somebody who's like, come on now,
Zumba,
just
go do some Zumba,
Peloton, right? Like all that shit. It's just people getting you pumped up. Let's go, man. So if you're good with that, great. But so then the other side is the technical, and I think jiu-jitsu and martial arts in general lend themselves better to the technical coach because people want that. Like they understand. Like you see, like, man, if I'm not doing that armbar correctly, they get out of it. If I do it correctly, then they don't get out of it. And you have this very, this feedback, this immediate feedback loop all the time, letting you know. And you're there with a different mindset. You're wanting to learn. You understand the technique. The culture's different, right? When you walk into jiu-jitsu or martial arts in general, just the mindset that you approach it with is completely different than when you go into the gym.
Yep.
Where your mind space is completely different. They shouldn't be. I guess,
but it is.
But it is for most people. They don't, and that's where they want to be. And so, but being like that rah-rah coach, that almost seems out of place in a martial arts setting.
Yeah.
Right? You imagine like, all right, man, we're doing our drills. Come on, guys. Come on. I mean, there's a little bit of that. Like you can interject some energy. I think that just being a total dead fish as a coach, isn't the best, but yeah, just having like Bambi up there in her fucking spandex bouncing around, like, cheering you on while you're doing your drills seems silly, right? Just like that really highly technical coach, someone's coaching a Peloton class and he's sitting there like, all right, guys, come on, whatever, I don't even know what would be like super technical. Yeah, Peloton technique, but with very little emotion would seem out of place. And so it's like, I feel like for me personally, I am set up better for coaching jiu-jitsu than I am for coaching fitness stuff. Like, I'm good at coaching fitness, like the technique side of it. But man, I've said many times, like, I don't like personal training because I feel like I'm responsible for your happiness on a daily basis or a regular basis. That's not me.
That's not your role.
That's not me, man. No, I'm not responsible for your happiness, because when people come into a fitness, they want a good time.
Right.
You know, they want the energy. They want a good time. They want this stuff. Like, they're coming to it, you know, for that as well. And you want that from jiu-jitsu as well. But again, just the expectation level is different. And so, you know, if you walk out of a fitness class and you feel like you didn't get a good workout, and you're upset because it didn't get pushed hard enough or didn't sweat hard enough or whatever. But, you know, jiu-jitsu, it's like, you know, I don't know. It's a lot, like, it's not as much. It's more internal than external, right? Like, people feel like they got a good class if they feel like, oh, like if at one point during the class they have one of those, like,
light bulb moments.
Oh, light bulb moment. That was a good class.
Yep.
That was a good class. So you can come out of a class, you know, feeling like you wasted your fucking time, you know, drilling something, not really learning anything. And so it's like those light bulb moments, I think, are more what people are looking for with jiu-jitsu. And the fitness side of it is a side effect of seeking those light bulb moments. Whereas, like, in the fitness side, it's the complete opposite. They're like, I just want to break a sweat.
Yeah, they're not looking for the light bulb.
And the light bulb moments are almost an accident.
Right.
So, yeah. Yeah, man, I'm pumped. I'm excited. You know, when I closed my gym down, I forget how long it's been, man. It's probably been about 6 years since I closed that gym down. If you would have asked me if I was going to open up another gym, I'd have been like, no way.
Did I even?
Never.
I'm pretty sure I don't have it documented. My memory is a little skewed. I've been hitting the head a lot in my 40 years. But I'm almost positive. We've been pretty good friends now for a while. And I'm almost positive I've heard you say it one more time. At one point in time, I will never have another facility again.
Yes. Yes. I have, man.
I'm almost certain I've heard you say that. And for a lot of reasons we just talked about. Like, it is a lot of work, man.
It's a lot of work.
There's a lot of money involved, a lot of time involved, stress.
Yeah. People forget, man, the word passion means to suffer for.
Yes.
It does not mean have a good time with.
Yes, definitely not all rainbows and unicorns.
No.
It's way less rainbows and unicorns.
Yeah.
Than one would hope.
Yeah, but it's worth it, man. It's worth it. Like I said, you have those light bulb moments as a coach, or to see your students have those moments, and it's because you know, like, man, you're impacting people on such a deep level. You know, someone can come work out with you for 6 months, and, you know, whatever, they stop working out, they lose the gains, blah blah blah. Maybe they learn a little better technique, but it's like, dude, your life gets impacted so much with martial arts and jiu-jitsu specifically that it's going to impact people. And we were talking about that. I keep telling people, like, really, it's not jiu-jitsu. Like, what I'm excited about is the jiu-jitsu lifestyle. Like, to me, that's what is really exciting. And
sharing that with people.
Yes, it's not jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is part of this much bigger picture. That once you get kind of sucked in, you become part of it. And so you start thinking about what you eat for breakfast is impacted by doing jiu-jitsu. Yep. Making sure you get enough sleep. Like, you know, whether you're going to have that extra beer or not. I mean, all of a sudden you have a reason to you know, live a better life, to put better thoughts in your head, better food in your mouth, better habits. All of these things you're going to see, like, holy shit, my jiu-jitsu will get better if I do these things. And so jiu-jitsu is the catalyst for it. Like, you were kind of my inspiration for this insight. Is, you know, you had your knee surgery, so you couldn't do jiu-jitsu. So you remove jiu-jitsu from the jiu-jitsu lifestyle. Man, you still have a really healthy, positive lifestyle. You work out, you eat well, you know, all of these things. And you're doing them with your eye on, I'm going to get back to jiu-jitsu. It may be 9 months down the road, but this is my lifestyle. This is who I am. And it's part of it before you had the knee surgery. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh, I've got to put these things in place now because I can't do jiu-jitsu and I got to find other things to try to... No. That was just, you know, who you are and what you do. It's part of the jiu-jitsu lifestyle. So you took jiu-jitsu out, you still had a really super healthy lifestyle going. And, you know, I don't think you can say that about other activities. Like, you know, I kind of pick on mountain biking a bit, but I was thinking, like, man, what the fuck is the mountain biking lifestyle? It's pretty much drinking beer and smoking weed interrupted by riding your bike. Like, it's really kind of what it is. Like, I'm not saying that's what it is for everyone, but you look at the mountain biking culture, it's not train hard, eat well, mental train. Like, these things are not. It is that old school, like, just send it, bro. Just drink a beer and send it. Like that. That's still a really, major part of the culture and the lifestyle that culture breeds. And so if you take mountain biking out of the equation, what are you left with?
Nothing.
Drinking beer and smoking weed.
Right.
That's not a healthy lifestyle, right? And so I would argue the same thing with like fitness. The fitness culture is not healthy.
No.
Right?
Because you remove that, it hasn't instilled all the other pieces of the puzzle that go into having a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
It hasn't just ingrained them into your nature.
And there can be like things actually that you're doing that are negative, right? Like you're doing, taking supplements or, doing things from a dietary standpoint or whatever, right? Like you can do things that are unhealthy in this pursuit of, this fitness thing. And so like, dude, I can't think that any lifestyle where you're basically getting amped up on 500 milligrams of caffeine, going in and just like beating your body to a fucking pulp on a regular basis, like that's not healthy, and then everyone, like, I don't know, it's such a supplement driven thing, right? Like I think anytime you have technology, that's the kind of the common factor with cycling too. You see that it's a technology driven sport. And so it's a lot easier to, like, if you want to improve your, power to weight ratio, you can pay a bunch of money and drop weight on your bike versus losing that 5 pounds that you need to lose, right? And so you can always think technology is going to provide the answer. On jiu-jitsu, that's no way. Like, your body's all you got. Like, that is your fucking technology. And so the fitness world, like the supplement side of it, people don't think about it, but that is that technology side. That's what they sell you on. Like, if you're not seeing the gains that you want, what is the real reason you're not seeing it?
Take this pill.
You're not taking the right pill.
You don't have the right protein.
You don't have the right supplement. So you're missing, yeah, exactly, the right pre-workout. So there's this technology aspect in the supplement side that gets, people, that kind of blurs that picture, and people can overlook things, and you don't have that direct feedback loop again. Like, dude, how long does it take to see noticeable results from, doing a fitness thing? It's going to take at least a couple weeks, 2, 3, 4 weeks, if not, depending upon what you're looking for. If you're trying to put on muscle, it could take longer.
long time.
Right? So how the feedback loop isn't as immediate. So again, with jiu-jitsu, it's like, nope, that worked, that didn't work. Whatever. That was the breeze of fucking inequality right there. Not even the breeze of equality. So the feedback loop is so much more immediate that, and again, man, you drink too much the night before, and then you go in and you roll. Like, you didn't eat well, you didn't hydrate, versus you do. It's like the impact is so much more immediate. The feedback loop is so much more, so much faster, that I think that it leads to that kind of healthy lifestyle aspect that, other sports where the feedback loop is slower and you have a higher technology component, it's really easy to develop a negative lifestyle around those things.
Yeah, dude, I've been pretty active almost my entire life, and I've never been a part of anything that does that like jiu-jitsu does it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think Brazilian jiu-jitsu checks so many boxes of just feels it fits, so many needs we have as a species, as a human, from your tribe to your mental stimulation to your physical outlet, all these things that are really important. It checks all those boxes. And so it's so fulfilling because of that. It makes it easy to just be like, oh no, this is how I live. And I really think that's what it is, because it is so rewarding and fulfilling on so many different fronts that you want to give as much of yourself to it, because the more you give to it, the more you get back out of it. The jiu-jitsu universe is like, here you go.
Yeah.
You're giving to us. Here you go. We give it back. So.
Yep. Yeah. No, man, that's a huge part. Again, that social aspect. Yep. Again, a lot of things. Again, like, I keep picking on them, but, cycling, mountain biking, your fitness world, like, there's such solo endeavors. Like, when you're doing them, it's all about you, right? Like, when I'm rolling with you, it's not all about me. Like like my most important asset is you. Like my training partners are my most important asset. It's not me. And if all you're worried about is you, I mean, that's the ego, right? Like that's the person who's only worried about them and, hurting their training partners, never, just being an asshole all the time because it's all about me. Those people don't make it in the jiu-jitsu world. Like you have to learn, like, no, man, it is so much more than about you. And I think that is just one of those overall things, man, that the jiu-jitsu lifestyle helps people in everything they do, man. Because now when you go outside the walls, like you're looking at the world differently. One, you realize that you don't know shit, and that dude that you might have fucking honked at and gotten all angry at, might be able to kick your ass, and let's just keep it cool. But also you're like, man, I don't know, you just feel a different connection with people. It's like you just look at people differently because you realize,
treat people differently.
Yeah, like that dude could be my training partner.
Yep.
Like that person could walk in the gym tomorrow and join the gym, and it's like, it's a different way of looking at people than just constantly. It's such a me-centered society, and then to go and do a sport that's so fucking me-centered, I think just feeds into so many negative things. And so having a sport that forces you to see the bigger picture and the value that other people bring to your life and to your pursuits is better, man. It helps a lot.
It helps so much. I got a funny story on that. Kind of ties into that. So at work yesterday, dude, my very first delivery of the day, I show up and pull up back up to this loading dock, get out, and the shipping and receiving guy there is just, dude, he is an asshole. I mean, he is being super fucking rude. And the first thing, he said something really rude at first, and I just kind of let it roll off my back. I'm like, all right, man, it's early in the morning. This guy's just having a bad day. I'm not going to get upset about this.
Yeah.
But then he continued down this path. And I was like, nope, we're not doing this today. And I was like, hey, man. I was like, if you got a problem with what I'm doing, just ask. I was like, you're being a dick. That's not going to solve anybody's problems. And he kind of looked at me, and then he had a couple of his coworkers there, and their eyes got all big, because you could clearly tell that this guy was just a dickhead to everybody.
Yeah.
And everybody there just kind of wrote it off, like, oh, that's just how he is.
Yeah.
No, not my world, man. You're not talking to me like this, because I can just tell from this quick interaction that I'm probably smarter than you. You seem to be just an ignorant dick. And if you really want to keep going down this dickhead path and escalate it, I'm going to slap the shit out of you. So where's this going, man? And I was like, dude, you're just being a fucking asshole, man. I was like, if you got a problem, ask me to do something differently. Talk to me. Quit being a dick right now, because this isn't going to fly. He's like, oh, I don't have time for this. I was like, oh, yes, you do. Because you started this being an asshole. We're going to come to a solution real quick before anything goes anywhere. And he was just like, dude, he had never been talked to like that. You could tell. Oh, it's funny. He turned out to be really nice after.
Such a bad guy.
And I said, yeah, but you could just clearly tell that no one had ever brought it to his attention. And that was just how he operated. He was just a fucking asshole. And I'm like, nah, man, you don't talk to me like that. I don't give a fuck who you are.
That's funny.
You do not talk to me like that. Treat me with respect, man. I'll treat you with respect back.
Yeah.
You can just tell he intimidates people. He's a little bit bigger dude, so he can act like this and get away with it. And I'm like, not my world, son.
Yeah.
I was like, it's like, because you draw this out. Okay, what is your behavior going to accomplish? And if you keep extrapolating out you being an asshole, how far are you willing to take being an asshole?
Yeah.
I bet you I'm willing to go a little bit farther than you.
Yeah, well, again, it's like, what are we doing? Accomplishing what we're looking at? I just want to get this delivery done.
Yeah, that's the exact words I said to him. I was like, listen, man, my job, when I get here, my goal is to make your life and my life as easy as possible.
Yes.
We're just both here earning a paycheck, man. I was like, I'm not here to stir up shit. I'm not here to get in an argument. Everything is just to be as easy and as smooth as possible. How does you being an asshole to me accomplish this for either one of us?
Right, yeah.
And he was like, I'm like, so, again, would you like me to do something different, or are you going to continue to be a fucking dick? It was funny, man. By the time I'm having this conversation with like 3 or 4 people, I started listening and shit. They were like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah, man.
But I had just flipped that switch. I was like, "No, man, not today.
Yeah,
it's not happening, buddy."
Yeah, you try, man. What's the problem is people mistake your kindness for weakness.
Yeah.
and then they start going based on their assumption that you're weak and you're in a position of weakness, and they can just keep pushing. I've literally had to say that to a couple people. Like, look, man, like, don't mistake my kindness for weakness. Like, let's get this conversation going in a different path real quick, or else I'm gonna have to change my tone. Like, I'm not being cool here because I'm not willing to fucking escalate things. I'm just trying to be cool. So, where is this going? Like, the exact same thing. And but yeah, like you said, you can tell so many people don't, they're not used to that.
Yeah.
And so, but the big thing is, again, like going back to like, jiu-jitsu is like, the way that you handled it, even though you're calling the dude out, you're handling it calmly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did start raising my voice.
Yeah, you're not escalating. You're not getting in his face. There's none of this like, "What's up, man?" Like, what
You got a fucking problem?
Yeah, and so like even that, the way that you handled it, is a direct result of jiu-jitsu.
Yes,
and,
exactly.
And training, letting you handle things. So I think we have a impromptu Pokemon update.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
2, actually.
2, all right.
So, I'm saving best for last. So the first one is a Pikachu. It's a pretty silly looking one, but it's actually sold for $300.
Whoa.
That's what the internet said.
Yes.
So
I didn't realize these Pokemon cards could hold so much value.
It's a basic, and it has 60 hit points, a lightning type, and its attacks are Gnaw, which does 10 damage, and Thunder Jolt 30 damage. And then this is the last one, which is the best. It's a Dragonite GX. It's the last stage. It's a dragon type. It has 250 hit points. Its attacks are Dragon Claw, and it does 130 damage, and Sky Judgment 270 damage.
Sky Judgment.
How come you have this in a special little holder?
It's a hyper rare.
Oh, so you gotta take good care of it, huh?
Yeah.
That's good.
He takes good care of it by putting it in there, and then he stuffs it in his pocket, takes it to school. Like he does.
No, I did not do it today.
I know. Listen, I'm just the thing is that
it was only one time.
I know, but the thing gets put in the case and then exposed to every danger in the world. So it's kind of funny. But
also, the Pikachu sold online for $300 isn't shiny, and this Pikachu card is actually a shiny one.
So you gotta take care of the real expensive, special ones like that. You gotta put them in the holders, and then
I don't know how much. Again, I wasn't involved with the value assessment. So I'm not really sure that, that's the $300 Pikachu card. All right, man. Listen, don't get all upset. So it's a cool card. Like it very well could be. I don't know. So.
Tita.
No, man. Listen, we're not gonna hash this out. All
I was
right?
gonna tell her to show you that.
I know. That's what I said. We're not gonna hash this out right now.
Maybe after the podcast.
Maybe. Probably not. I don't care enough.
Thanks for the update, buddy.
Thanks for the update, man. We love those cards. Keep them coming. See? That's really a $300 card. I don't know if I should be letting them treat it like that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's like...
Well, they're saying that it isn't a $300 card, so I'm not treating it well because you're saying it.
Okay.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, they just came back from... I don't know, where were they? They went over to my mom's house, and all of a sudden they're just like, "Oh, this thing's this one sold for $300, and this one's a $80 card," and I'm just like, man, I don't know. Maybe there's a bajillion of those fucking cards, man. There's like 8 different type of Pikachu cards, so I have a hard time believing that the card that he got in a pack yesterday. You know what I mean? It's not even...
It's possible.
It is possible, but usually, like, there's a rarity and a scarcity aspect to the more expensive ones because
And that's
like they came out a few years ago.
And that's why the value shoots up.
Right, yeah. If you're getting, so that's how it works with like baseball cards and things like that. I just, again, like I am basing this on my, experience. When I was a kid, I collected baseball cards. I got the Beckett Monthly or whatever. They would tell you all the prices of the cards and all the stuff. And so, I have a little bit of an idea of how the collectibles market works. And so that's why I'm like, dude, that's, if that's a $300 card, great. Like maybe we shouldn't be letting you just throw it around like that. But then again, it's like, I don't know. He's a kid. He wants to play with the card. Do I want to turn into a whole adult thing and be like, oh, this one's too expensive and you can't play with that one? Or, if he really wants to. And so, but again, like I said, just I don't know why he got that pack last week. It's not, a rare pack. It's not something, you know what I mean? So maybe, but how few of those fucking things do they have to put in the packs for it to be worth $300? Mm-hmm. Like, so yeah, maybe, and I'm always open to that possibility, but I think that they may have seen a card that looks similar that was from a different series maybe, and so it's not quite the same one, but
that's where I'm leaning.
Yeah.
But you never know.
You never know, man. Never know. Some people, and again, there's the old, well, that's what they say online versus like what people are actually willing to pay.
Right.
So I love that in like Pawn Stars. Have you watched that show?
I know the premise.
Yeah, but anyways, people walk in and they're like, how much do you want for it? And they're like, I want $300 for this card. Where'd you get that number? Well, I saw online people were selling it for $300. And it's like, there's a difference between what people are, asking for and what it actually sells for. So it's, you can find it on eBay for sale for $300, but I don't know how many people are paying that. Yep. So there you go. Pokemon card
update. Pokemon update.
Yeah, but he did forget, air quotes, that he had his entire binder of Pokemon cards in his backpack yesterday and took his entire binder of cards to school. He just forgot that they were in there. He had
put it into his backpack?
Yeah.
And I'm speculating he doesn't normally store it in his backpack?
No, things don't go in his backpack for sure. And it's he's a small child with not a large backpack. So like you put a binder full of cards in a backpack.
It's not necessarily designed
for
that. Well, no,
it's not that. It's just you'll notice it. You know what I mean? Like if you had something that weighed a few pounds in your backpack and it normally doesn't, and you pick the backpack up. So it's one of those like, listen, man, you didn't forget. You pretended that you forgot. I've done that. I remember when I was a kid pretending to forget a few things.
Oh yeah.
But no, so that was why he was a little defensive when I was talking about taking him to school. It's like, it just happened that one day. It's like, I know, man, I know. I'm trying to pick a fight here. So, but yeah, the Pokemon cards, they're an interesting thing for him.
They are.
Helping him read, though.
Dude, he can read good. I can't pronounce half those stupid Pokemon words.
Yeah, well, it's funny. One of the things they sent him home with for homework was what they call like nonsense words, and they're basically just trying to teach the kids how to. It's funny. Like it's like principle based versus memorization, right? So you can memorize that READ spells red, and so you memorize that says red, or you understand the principles behind sounding out the word and why do those letters make the sounds that say red, and that way you're going to be able to use that. So if someone shows you READY, they don't have to tell you what that says. You can make a pretty good guess. Whereas if all you've done is memorize what words look like, and so you're just like time multiplication tables type memorization, then you come across words that you haven't memorized, and you have no principles, no basis for which to try to figure that out. You're forever reliant on someone giving you the answer. Someone has to tell you what that word says so that you can memorize it versus you being able to figure it out yourself. And so, you don't think about it, but then you're like, oh yeah, like you can learn to read two totally different ways. Mm-hmm. And it's like doing jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu the same way.
Yeah. Are we memorizing techniques or are we learning principles?
Yep.
And if you're learning techniques, you're forever going to be looking for that technique. You have a problem, you got to go to someone else to get an answer for a technique. And versus if you got principles, you can fucking figure something out. And yeah, the same thing. So those nonsense words that they sent him home with, I realized like that's all those Pokemon names are. And he's so good at sounding out those nonsense words that like he can read. Yeah, he reads really well.
What kind of words were on the nonsense words page? You remember?
I don't, man. Just like I can't even, because they're not real words. You know, they're just like just sounds that. So I don't know. I can't even think of one. All I can think of are words. You know what I mean? Like when you try to think of like a nonsense word, it's
that's
like,
I was kind of curious. I was kind of curious as to what they were using for nonsense words. On that same vein, how did he do his little performance? The thing that he had memorized? Yeah,
it's coming up this week, I think.
Curious as to how that went.
Yeah, no, he's got it memorized. So no, it'll be this week. We'll see his Christmas performance.
Sweet.
I think Shiloh's got a concert too that we get to go to.
Nice.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's that time of year.
Christmas time with
I
kids.
can't believe it's Christmas already. Whew.
I know.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I know, it's funny. My mom came over yesterday and we were talking about Christmas presents and we got that all hashed out, or just, you know, she's like, oh, what do you want? It's like, oh God, okay, what do I want? It's like so hard to think of, you know, what I want. And so I thought of something and then we were done and then she was getting ready to leave and she's like, oh yeah, what do you want for your birthday? Which is like 2 days after Christmas. And I'm like, oh fuck. It's like, I don't want to think about it right now. I'm like, I'm done thinking about what presents, and for me to have to mentally change gears back in that direction is just going to be painful. Like, I'll think about it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. So, but yeah, I've got to, I got my fucking birthday coming up, which is good. Good.
How old are you going to be? 44?
44, man.
Damn.
I know. They just keep coming.
They do just keep coming faster and faster.
Yeah, man, this last year's been pretty full. I mean, it's an interesting thing, man. It's one of those things, like you look back and you're like, God, that year flew by. But then you think back and you're like, you know, you think about some of like all of the fucking events that happened over the last year. And then you think about some of them and you're like, dude, that was only like a month ago. That was only like 2 months ago. That seems like, you know, a year ago or whatever. So it's funny how the mind thinks about time, because, you know, on one scale, yeah, it flies by, but on the other hand, there's been a lot going down. There's a lot of shit going down. I mean, a year ago, we were getting ready to go compete at No-Gi Worlds.
That was last year you guys did No-Gi Worlds?
That was last year we did No-Gi Worlds.
Was it?
So we went from No-Gi Worlds to opening a gym in a year.
In a year's time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I bet you No-Gi Worlds is probably going down. Like,
it's this weekend.
Is it this weekend or next weekend?
Next weekend.
Next weekend?
Yeah. Yep. Yes, next weekend. Won't be able to make it there this year, but maybe next year.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, it'll be.
I'm shooting for Masters Worlds next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't do it this year.
I didn't do it either. I haven't been back for a while.
Right? Yeah. No? Did I do it this year? No, I couldn't have. I had surgery this year. I did it the year before.
That's right. Year before you went with the girls.
That's right. I was the tag along on the girls' trip.
That's right. So.
And this year I definitely didn't do it because I had surgery in March.
Yeah, so it's been like 3 years. It'll be like 3 years for me.
We should plan on going.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. It's funny. I'm thinking, you know, I think that competing is important, and I also think that leading from the front is important. And so, like,
hence, you got to go compete.
Yeah. I'd be at least, you know, my motivation and my thought process on competing is definitely different if you're, you know, a leader versus just, hey man, this is just something I do. I just do it for fun, right? This isn't my job. This isn't my thing. It's just, I do it for fun. But
it's really, I think, for hobbyists like us, and then being leaders and teachers, instructors, I think the best way, most healthy way to frame competition is just, it's really just another practice.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit, maybe a more intense practice, but that's really, it's all it is. Just look at it like that. It's just, you're out there training with somebody you've never trained with before. Or you don't get trained with very often, you know.
Yeah.
You run with the same guys sometimes at local tournaments, but if you frame it like that, That's your most benefit.
Yeah.
That's just another way to test your jiu-jitsu. You're just testing it, against somebody kind of new that doesn't know all your patterns. You don't know your training partner's patterns. So you're out there, give it a whirl, like, oh, that doesn't work. Let's just, next time we go to practice, try to fix this. I think if you frame it like that, I think that's a good mindset.
Yeah.
To make it the most beneficial experience. For
sure, yeah. I mean, there's definitely a lot of, a lot of different ways to frame it to make competition less stressful. No one's, everybody still loves you.
Yep.
The sun's going to come up tomorrow. This isn't the gladiator arena where you may end up with a thumbs down.
You will not be shunned from the tribe.
Right, yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of... But what the funny thing is at the end of the day, there's no way you're going to be able to frame it that doesn't make it stressful.
No, it's still going to be stressful.
It's still going to be stressful. I would say, like, even everyone has, even just... you get to where the stress levels aren't as high.
But you're still going to be stressed.
Always going to have some stress. And I was watching... I got Kit Dale's new... he had a Black Friday special on his new instructional, and he was talking about competition. And yeah, he had a good point, and I realized, like, dude, it's so fucking true. Like, dude, as soon as you step on the mat and you slap hands, you're not nervous anymore.
Nope.
Like, if you can just make it to that moment,
then you're good.
You're good.
You've done it because you've done that a million times.
Yes. All of a sudden, the nerves aren't there.
Yeah.
Like, when you're wrestling, the nerves aren't there.
And it's because it's the unknown.
Yeah.
And, I deal with that on a day-to-day basis at work. I don't know where I'm going to have to go deliver and what the snow road conditions and blah, blah, blah. And all these unknowns are stressful.
Yeah.
And I constantly have these little mental fights in my head. Like, okay, well, don't think about that. That's an uncontrollable. I'll figure that out when I get there. Like, don't. But it's the same thing with jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about who you're going against. Don't worry about what he's going to do. Those are all unknowns. You can't control them. All you can control is showing up, slapping his hand, and then there you go. It's the same thing. It's the same mindset. You just can't control the unknowns, accept that that's what they are, and
it's find a way to get through to that moment. Because once you get to the moment, things will be fine.
Yep.
It's leading up to that moment
that it sucks.
This is where the stress is. Yeah, that's the funny thing. You're stressed about the competition, but you're not actually stressed during the competition.
Yeah, it's all leading up.
Yeah, and I know it has. People have obviously had like mind fucks but for the most part, I would say like 90+% of the time, when for everybody that's competed, like once you slap hands, the nerves are gone or like greatly reduced. Like it's the leading up to it that's the fucking hard part. Mm-hmm. So it's but anyways, I thought that was a good point, like something. And again, just another mental trick to try to help you get through the stress of the moment leading up to the moment. Yeah. Is like, well, if I can just get to that moment, then I know that this is all in my head, and I won't have to actually deal with this. This isn't how I'm going to feel while I'm competing, because that's what gets stressful. Is you think like, fuck, you feel stressed, and then you're thinking about competing, and you're thinking about competing while you're stressed, and so you're like, I don't want that to happen. That sucks ass. So but again, it's another one of those things the jiu-jitsu lifestyle does for you, man. It puts you in those positions. You can easily be put in a position where you have to become mentally stronger and deal with these things. And again, we live in a world where comfort is
everybody's seeking comfort constantly.
Everybody wants that comfort, man. So yeah, gotta unseek it some. So anyways, dude, I had this speaking about not seeking comfort, I was reading the MacArthur biography last night, and I came across this one little passage, man. I just had to it stuck in my head. I was like, dude, they're just different breeds of motherfuckers out there. And they were talking about when the U.S. Army had gotten pushed off when the Japanese invaded the Philippines the first time. Basically they weren't prepared to defend, and it was tough to defend. So they had this plan to all retreat to the Bataan Peninsula, which was a more easily defendable spot. But they still eventually went down. That's where the Bataan Death March came from. Was when after they surrendered, getting marched to the camp, and they just were however many drop off dead is fine. But they had, during the fighting, they would have small Japanese units that would actually make it through the line and then get behind the Army's line. So you'd have small units, 1, 2, 3 people, and they'd be sniping and causing problems. And so they had to go fucking take care of them. And volunteers would volunteer to go into the fucking woods and hunt these fuckers down. And they mentioned one dude in particular, I forget his name, but they're like, the way they put it, man, like it was one of those times when you read something and you're just like, dude, the words, like the way that they put that was so fucking awesome. But it was said like, just armed with a rifle, a Japanese submachine gun, and an armful of grenades. He went time and again into the woods, picking off snipers like a big game hunter.
That is awesome.
I was like, oh man, it's fucking great. And then said like one of the times he went in, he didn't come back out, and they went and found him, and he was propped up against a tree dead, and at his feet were the 3 Japanese guys that fucking charged him with bayonets. So
he took out 3 of them.
Took out 3 of them. Yeah, they got him.
He
took out 3 of them. I'm like, dude, what? That is fucking gangster.
Yeah.
Just grab a fucking armful of grenades, a fucking rifle, a submachine gun you took off some, dead enemy, crawling into the woods by yourself, hunting dudes. Like, that is just bananas,
that's
man.
That's hardcore.
And all around, this is while the fucking fighting's going on. There's a war going on around you.
And now you got your own little private war.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I was like, dude, yeah. It's interesting, man. I think that it, I read about that, and it's like, fuck, it seems like foreign. It's like almost like, I can't even fathom being put in that position. But I'm sure before that guy was put in that position, he couldn't fathom being put in that position. And like, that's the thing, man. Like, we're all here because some
guys like that.
Well, no. People in our past fucking fought and killed people, right? Like, none of us are here because you're not the fucking offspring of pacifists.
No. Don't get it twisted.
Don't get it twisted, man. And when push comes to shove, like, you'd be surprised what you're capable of doing, both physically and mentally. And it's always that thing, man. Like, we're capable of so much more than we give ourselves credit for. And whether it's stepping up, doing something just extremely heroic and selfless like that, or just fucking doing a jiu-jitsu competition or whatever, it's like that. But that's kind of what got me thinking about that, is like, you get put in these situations, and you kind of have to, right? Like, it's one of the things, like, people talk about war, it sucks, but by the same token, like, how many times do people come out and say, like, man, there were positive things that I gained from it? And it's because you're forced into these situations that, fucking adapt or die, right? And so, again, kind of like on the jiu-jitsu mat, like, we get to tap before we die, but it's adapt or die, man, adapt or die. And again, it's that primal fucking thing that I think, it's cool. It's cool to have a way to tap into that and scratch that itch without having to fucking crawl into the woods.
and actually die. And actually might die.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't go into practice thinking today, like, I could die at practice today.
Right.
No. It's cool. You flirt with that. I'm just a really small fraction of a thing.
Yeah.
We're simulating murder on each other, but it is. You're tapping into that a little bit. Again, another reason why jiu-jitsu is so cool.
It is so cool, man.
Everybody needs to do it.
We all have it in us. Like, again, you want to pretend that, I'm non-violent. It's okay, great, man. But it's in your genes, brother.
Sometimes violence is forced upon you. And
It's
better to know how to do it than not.
Yeah. That's the thing,
it's better to know how to control the violence. Or be violent.
Yeah.
Be more efficient at being violent.
Yup. Dude, that's one of the big interesting takeaway messages, because the MacArthur biography and the Gandhi and Churchill one that I read before, they all take place in the same time. Like, you guys were all contemporaries with each other. And one of the things that led directly to World War II was, after World War I, people were like, we're fucking done. The last thing we want to do is go to war again. And it was a huge pacifist movement, a huge just movement, like, no war. Like, they actually, had treaties that nations were signing saying, war is illegal and we're not going to have war anymore. And so, but that mindset led directly to the environment that allowed Germany to rearm and Imperial Japan to start doing their shit. And everyone was just in this pacifist mood. And that, man, if we, if we try to appease them, if we try to understand them and appease them, then they will see the right, and they'll see the light, and they'll, come to our side. And it's like, Nope.
Wrong.
It's just not realistic, man. It's just not realistic. Like, it's such a fucking pie in the sky, like, unreality that to try to make decisions based on that filter is stupid. It's not, it's childish is what it is. So it's not the reality of things. Unfortunately. I wish it was, man.
Hell yeah, I wish it was, but yeah, there's some terrible people out there.
Yeah.
And they will exploit it.
They will. They will take your fucking weakness or kindness for weakness. And then they will try to exploit that. And then you find out, like, shit, was this really weakness? Like, and then sometimes it's harder, right? Like, it's easier to step up early than it is to... It's like with the bully, man. Like, you fucking stand up to them early, and they know, like, oh, you know, it's going to be a lot easier than if they get in the pattern and think that, man, I got you, you know? So you know, like, your fucking conversation with that dude, it's what it is. It's like, if you don't nip that in the bud early... Right, and that conversation just keeps rolling, and he keeps fucking doing that. Eventually, he says or does something that kind of crosses a line, and now all of a sudden you guys are in this weird tense situation, and it's like, man, just, you know, fucking stand up for yourself, nip that shit in the bud early. You understand what's the difference between, like, your ego versus I'm trying to, like, I see the situation possibly going negatively. It's not my ego. Is I'm trying to accomplish something here. I just want to unpack my packages, and I see this potentially going another direction. I don't want that. How do I keep this fucking going in this direction? Right? Like, if you're going, you know, the bully things, I just want to go to fucking school. Right? It's not an ego thing. So I just want to go to school. I just want to be, you know, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, how do I keep my intention in this direction? You know, it's not about revenge on the bully, because that's where shit gets
That's
squirrely.
that's where it gets squirrely quickly.
Yeah, because then you're no better. Like, people forget. Like, man, those, you know,
the bully can become the bully.
Yeah, man,
pretty quick.
It's a tough thing, right? Because I mean, on one hand, like, you got to be grateful for bullies. On some hand, because, man, without bullies, like, how, as a kid, how do you learn to stand up for yourself? How do you learn, like, right? You know, like, there's something that you get. Like, I was picked on. I was bullied. I'd probably be technically, I was fucking bullied. Mm-hmm. Like, by today's standards, I was a bullied kid. Mm-hmm. You know, I just looked at it as, like, normal shit. You know, like, everybody kind of gets picked on. I was just, you know, definitely got picked on a little bit more. And I had kids trying to fucking, you know, beat me up and shit. And it's like, it's funny when they realize, like, dude, I'm not, like, my ego's not in this. I'm not going to fucking fight you. Like, all of a sudden. Because they want somebody to get pissed off and, like, push back. And if you're just like, dude, I don't give a fuck, I'm a skinny little kid here, I know you can kick my ass, like, but yeah, but that fucking helped shape me. Like, I wouldn't be the same person I am today if I hadn't gone through those experiences. There's just no way. And I'm sure you had fucking experiences like that.
Plenty.
Yeah. And so it's like, man, yeah, you don't want to be bullied, but on some level, man, like, bullies serve a role. They serve a purpose. If you were to get rid of all bullies, I don't think that, like, if you just had it where there was just no bullying at all. And again, it's like, it's so, like, do I want kids getting fucking beat up, right? Like, there's definitely extremes of it. It's like hazing in a frat, right? Like, we don't want kids dying, but, you know, making them do some silly shit that is a little embarrassing, but it's, you know, like, we don't want to get rid of all of it. There's something, you get something from that. There's something that you get from going through those little rituals and bullshit that you don't if you don't. And so it's throwing the baby out with the bathwater. It's like, for me, the problem is like, bullying has become such an all-encompassing term. Like, I have to actually remind Z, like, man, that kid's not a bully. Like, just because he said something that you didn't like or he didn't agree with you doesn't mean he's a bully. You know, it's kind of scary. Like, that's
they've lowered that bar so much to what's, you know, qualified as being a bully.
It's definition creep.
Yeah.
It's crept out. Like, when we were a kid, man, the bully was the kid who physically fucking assaulted you.
Yeah, and was taking your lunch.
Was taking your lunch and your lunch money. Like, if you weren't getting physically assaulted, like,
that was
you weren't bullied. Mm-hmm. Like, that wasn't being bullied. And, you know, and I agree that, like, there's psychological bullying, right? And so I definitely went through some of that. I remember, dude, like, one day, like, crying, begging my mom, don't make me go to school. I don't want to go to school. Like, they fucking all make fun of me. Like, it wasn't fun, right? And so I know that shit exists, and I wouldn't wish that on anyone. I definitely, the psychological bullying, but again, it gets taken to the point where, like, you're roughhousing with your friend on the school ground, playground, and all of a sudden they can be like, hey, that's, too much, you're bullying or whatever. It's gotten, the creep's gotten so bad. So that's where I'm like, man, you got to be careful. Like, we got to teach kids to stand up for themselves. I think that's the number one thing, right? The number one thing that's going to take care of bullies is kids who are bully proof, right? That's the number one thing. It's not, and the less opportunities there are for bullying because kids are bully proof, the less bullies there's going to be, right? But like trying to create all these rules in this environment where no one can, I don't know, like there's a tension between the two extremes. I've talked about this a lot. It's like you're trying to find the balance between the tension rather than resolve the tension. And if you resolve the bully tension, I don't think that it would be positive. It's like you need a little bit of that tension. You need antagonists in your life. And, it teaches you a lot of stuff. Also empathy, right? Like the people who are bullying, they usually got fucking problems of their own.
Yep.
I mean...
Almost always.
Yeah.
Always they do.
I mean, dude, look at The Simpsons, right? Like Nelson Muntz, right? He was the bully, but dude, do you hate Nelson, right? Like, because like that kid's got a fucked up life. Like, why he's a bully. Like, I love that character. He's such a great bully character because he's such an asshole, but you don't hate him because you realize, like, dude, this kid's being a bully because he's got fucking problems. So, anyways, yeah. Yeah, exactly, man. Such a fucking classic bully character. I love that show. That was a good one. Who was the bully on Seinfeld? Did they have a bully?
Who would be on Seinfeld?
Be the bully? Yeah.
Who would be classified as the bully on Seinfeld?
I don't know.
They didn't have like an ongoing
bully.
There would be
Soup Nazi kind of made a little bit of
there would be
bully
some
play.
Characters that were interjected here or there that could, kind of qualify as that.
Yeah.
Maybe the Soup Nazi or the Carl Farman guy, the furniture guy.
Yeah.
He was more of a psychological bully.
Yep.
Oh, I know things aren't going so well. You don't have a desk to write your skits on. That would be... This is showing how much useless Seinfeld knowledge I have. I'm sure there's probably some other ones.
Yeah, but they wouldn't have like the...
They didn't... Yeah, because like Newman wouldn't be...
No.
He's just kind of an antagonist.
He's an antagonist, yeah. Anyways.
Speaking of stories and literature, I've started reading The Light in the Cave.
Yes.
Cave in the Light.
Yes.
I'm only 20 pages in or so, but I'm digging it so far. That's going to be a good read.
Yeah. It's entertaining, huh?
Yeah.
The way that he writes.
The way he writes with Albert Herman. Is that his name?
Yeah.
The author's name?
Yep.
Yeah.
Arthur Herman.
Arthur Herman,
yeah.
maybe?
Yeah.
Herman, I think. But, yeah, I really like his writing style. Again, very early on, 20 pages in.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I like this. I can read this. Because, that's a dense subject.
Mm-hmm.
Aristotle versus Plato.
Philosophy.
It can get dense, and it can get tough to digest and read.
Yeah.
So it's important to find an author that can portray it in a way that resonates with you.
Yep.
And so far, I'm liking how this guy's putting things.
Cool, man. Yeah. Yeah, you'll dig it.
I'm pumped to read more of it.
Yeah, and again, like realizing like there were, we take for granted where we are as a society as far as our philosophical outlook on things like, women's rights and, race and things like that. But there are distinct moments where these ideas were introduced into society. Like there was a moment before these ideas, entered, and then you had champions, people who, champion these ideas, had these insights, and then help, make them part of the scaffolding, right? Like philosophy is a scaffolding, and like, the whole thing is Aristotle and Plato form that foundation, but then on top of them, we're philosophers, and on top of them, and on top of them, and on top of them. So like where we're sitting at right now is literally like, the shoulders of giants kind of thing. Like we're at the top of this giant scaffolding. And again, that's where the whole, you got to be careful what you are trying to reshape in society, because this whole like, we've got to, all these old white male Christian, we just got to rip them out. Like, our history is filled with these people, and it's horrible that it's filled with these people because, other people should be represented better. But whatever the fucking point is, like, but yeah, man, if you rip those people out, though, you're ripping out part of the scaffolding. And so you take away that foundation, and then it's like, well, the rest of, you take for granted where we're at, but you start ripping out parts of that scaffolding.
There's going to be consequences.
Yeah, you don't know where things are going to fall. And so again, like making sure you're just being really careful. You're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater kind of thing. Like we talked about, like religion, I think on the last one, it's like, dude, there's something there. There's some sort of scaffolding and as you read, you'll see like what a big role religion played, both positively and negatively, in philosophy and in where we're at today. And so like, to take that away, you can't just go back in history and say like, well, religion, if we would have taken religion out of the picture, we still would have arrived at the same place philosophically. It's fucking impossible to say. It's bullshit.
There's no way.
There's no way. And so if religion played a role in us getting to this point, you rip out the fucking religion, you're ripping out some of the insights and some of the scaffolding that comes along with where we're at. So it's like, okay, what is the negatives that we're trying to reduce? Like I said with like Gandhi, he was trying to move the color line. Well, he moved the color line by destroying the British Empire. It's not really the same thing. Like you're trying to change these lines where people think, but just destroying the whole scaffolding of how they think isn't the same thing as moving that line. And yeah, I'll be interested to get your as you read into it more or get into it more.
It's good. It's a good sized task. I mean, that book's like a 600 or 700 page book.
Yeah.
Smaller print, dense subject. Like I'm going right from Shogun, the 1,300 page novel that ended.
It's only half the size.
Ended bullshit. But now I'm into this, so.
Sweet, man. Well, that's good.
I'm always excited when I start a new book.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I'd highly recommend that book to anyone. I really felt like that book did a really good job of helping me think better. Just because just understanding kind of how, the philosophy and where we arrived, where we're at, I think was good. So we got like 10 more minutes here or less.
Yep.
I wanted to had two quick things, and then we'll leave it at that. So I finally watched that Free Solo movie.
Dude, it's badass. Isn't
Badass. It? I cannot figure out how that chick got through the fucking defenses and became his girlfriend.
I know.
How did that chick do that?
Yep.
Like, how did she fucking weaseled her? It's like every one of his friends.
Like, this is not good.
You
need to be a samurai. You do not need this pretty, comfortable girl living
begging
in a van.
you to not do it.
Yes.
Like, literally saying, if I asked you to not do it, would you not? It's like, oh my God, how could you put that thought in his fucking head, you selfish bitch?
Yeah, dude. It really annoyed me.
She annoyed the fuck out of me.
She annoyed the fuck out of me watching that movie.
Yes.
It was selfish of her.
So selfish.
Like, he was on a life-threatening journey and path.
She wasn't there to support him.
She was not there to support him.
She was there to stroke her ego.
Yeah.
I'm Alex Honnold's girlfriend.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
And if he dies, then I'm not anymore.
Yeah, you could tell that Tommy Caldwell, one of his good buddy, he, in my impression, that he really downplayed his disgust for her role.
Oh, you could tell. Yeah.
Like, he was really trying to be PC about it in the movie.
About it.
But I bet you if you were buddies with him and sat down and talked to him like you and I do, he would give you the take like, no, man, that was like, I'm glad he made it, but her involvement was so not good.
No, man.
Not good for the mindset he needs to be in, and
no, that was
it. All worked
wild.
out. It all worked out.
It just showed to me. It showed even bigger what a freak that guy is.
Yes,
the fact that he could just look at her with those fucking. Basically, he's got like lizard eyes.
Lizard eyes, dude.
And he just looking at her. He's like, "No, I'm gonna do it anyways." And walks out. And it's like, and I would say the same thing, but then I'm walking out, and like in the back of my head, it's still fucking ringing around. It's gonna be noise that can interfere with my performance. And with him, no.
His brain's wired differently.
That's the only thing that saved him.
That's the only way.
That chick was going to get him fucking killed.
Yes, that chick would have got most.
She would have got most people killed.
She would have got most people killed.
Yep. Yeah.
Being that Alex is not most people.
Yep.
It was the only way that was able to transpire. But
that was why. That's the only reason that to me it made him even greater.
Yes.
It's like, wow. He not only free soloed that thing, he fucking overcame that succubus.
Yeah, just that her putting negative thoughts and energy in his head and just,
yeah,
don't do this. You shouldn't,
Oh, dude, yeah. Anyways, I remember you mentioning her, and I watched that, and I was like, dude, you were even kind of underplaying it. Yeah. I mean, that was disgusting. Yeah. So, anyways.
Great fucking movie, though.
Great movie, man.
Great movie, man.
Loved it, yeah.
I've watched it a few times now.
Yeah.
It's one of those things sometimes I'll just put on in the background for noise if I'm doing stuff. I don't feel like listening to a podcast or a book. I'm at home.
Yeah.
I'll just pop that on, let it play. Like, dude, and I'll get sucked into watching it, even like the third and fourth time.
Oh, yeah.
Because, dude,
you can't help it,
You can't help it, man.
Yeah, you watch it.
Just get you so pumped.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Love that movie.
Yep.
So, all right, now my last one is a philosophical concept that I wanted to throw out there. I forget where this came up, but so zero is not a number.
Okay.
Would you argue that?
Expound before Zero is not a number?
Yeah.
Zero is nothing.
Zero is nothing. Zero is the absence of a number.
Correct. It is
a placeholder for a philosophical concept.
Yes, it's how you explain the absence of something.
Yes.
It's a construct we put in place to explain the absence of things.
Right, yes.
And there's zero trees out there. There's zero dogs in the room.
Right.
It's the way we explain things.
But it's not a number.
It's not a number.
Because if it was a number, then
it's not zero.
Right, it's not zero.
It's a thing.
It wouldn't imply it. Yeah, if something's not there, the absence of it can't imply the presence of it.
Exactly.
And that's what it. So, but that was I was explaining this to Shiloh because we were talking about like Roman numerals, and the Roman numerals don't have a zero.
Nope.
There is no zero. Every number has its own, shape, and there's a pattern to it, but it's its own thing. You don't make 20 by taking a 2 and a 0 together. 20 is XX.
XX. Right.
And so, but that was the thing. That's why they call them the Arabic numerals. That was the Arabs' insight, and actually they mentioned that in the Cave in the Light, because at one point the Arab world was one of the hubs of philosophy and stuff like that. And so, but yeah, they came up with zero. And the number zero, and that was the big breakthrough, and that's why we all use the Arabic numerals, is because they came up with a placeholder for that philosophical concept that made it easier to
explain things.
Yeah, to create a number system versus the Roman numeral system, which is it's fucking gigantic. It's onerous.
So cumbersome.
Yeah, so cumbersome.
Couldn't use it in this day and age.
Right, you almost have to memorize the numbers versus having this basic. Once you know 0 through 9, you can create any number in the universe, with the Arabic system. But the big breakthrough was the zero, which is a philosophical concept, not an actual number.
Yeah.
So, and with that, we give 0 more fucks.
That is a great way to end it. Let me plug my other podcast real quick.
Yes.
Again,
it is out. It
is out. I put out the first episode. It's really rough around the edges right now, man. It's not even out on iTunes yet. The reason being, this is so annoying. So I created a little logo for us because the name of the podcast it's for Paul and I's podcast called The Skeptic and the Pastor. So I created this little image. It's a magnifying glass with a cross in the middle. Pretty proud of it. I'm not an artist in any way, shape, or form. And I got a little digital image, and I uploaded it to Podbean. So our Podbean account has this cover, and then that automatically uploads it to iTunes. The reason they won't let my podcast go to iTunes is because that image does not fit their requirements. It's got to be so many pixels or, whatever. Like, you got to be fucking kidding me. It's got to be the exact size.
Yep.
And so it throws that flag in there. They just won't even let the audio content upload.
It's Apple.
Jesus Christ, man.
Apple doesn't get along with anyone, man.
No, so I have to. That is my goal for this weekend, is to get that image down to the right size somehow. I might have to talk to our Brazilian Nick.
Yeah.
Because he's a digital image
guy. There you go. Yeah.
He can probably help me out.
Yeah.
I need to get that image to the right requirements so we can get to iTunes. But eventually, The Skeptic and the Pastor will be on iTunes. Right now, it's on Podbean. Yeah. And it's going to be a bi-weekly podcast. That's what Paul and I have decided on. So it's going to be the next
episode. Bi-weekly. We debated this
debated this.
They changed the definition because people were using it wrong. I guarantee you, dude. You look up the definition 50 to 100 years ago, bi-weekly meant twice a week.
Okay, and this is where our debate was. But if you look up the definition nowadays, bi-weekly could be every 2 weeks.
The definition creep.
And so I agree. I can concede.
Every fortnight.
So,
that's the way to say
or bi-monthly. So every other fucking week, all right? God damn it. It's going to be, I think we're going to do Mondays. So our next episode shooting to come out will be the 16th, I think, off the top of my head. So yeah, man, it's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
So check it out. Hopefully by then it'll be up on iTunes and whatnot. The Skeptic and the Pastor. And the next week's next episode will be, we're going to discuss on why people have a bad taste in the mouth when it comes to organized religion and churches.
Yeah.
Or more importantly, why I do, why I dislike organized religion and churches.
Yeah. And
so it'd be a good conversation for Paul and I to have, being that he runs a church.
That's right.
And I'm buddies with him. But I think churches are dumb. I'm not going to say it. You know, we're all good fun.
Yeah.
No. So.
Cool, man. Yeah, they can find that at Podbean.
Podbean right now. Skeptic. If you just look Skeptic and Pastor, it'll pop up on Podbean.
I was going to tell you just a little side note. There's a website called canva.com.
Okay.
Have you come across
I've heard of it, yep.
So you can go there, you can create a free account, but when you create graphics, like you can say like iTunes picture or podcast art, and so you will start from that requirement,
okay,
right? Because it's basically a certain size and stuff, right? And if it's same thing like if you try to create like an image for a Facebook header or whatever. So yeah, you can go there and select like what you're specifically creating the image for.
Okay.
And then so when you create it, it'll fit what you're creating it for.
Problem solved.
So yeah,
I'm gonna try to do that tonight.
Yeah, it's the easy one there. So
cool. Yeah, I'm excited. New little adventure.
Nice, man.
Paul seems pretty pumped on it, so
yeah, it's cool. Exciting.
Yeah.
It's exciting for you guys.
We'll see what happens with it.
Cool. I'll give a little follow us at Fruta BJJ on Instagram, and we'll have a website up soon, fruitabjj.com. We got a Facebook page, Fruta BJJ. So
sweet. Yeah,
you guys can follow the online adventure there. We will be doing more social media than Grumpy Guy does because my wife's involved.
Did she never gave us like a resignation for the Grumpy Guy social media maven. She just stopped doing shit.
Yeah, well,
we never had an official resignation. I mean, we weren't. Really...
I fired her because not from lack of work. It was because it was taking away from her other responsibilities.
Damn it! I was gonna call her in for like an employee review and say, "Hey, I don't know what's going on here."
Yeah, I was like,
her performance is so.
Her boss in her other job started pressuring her, so I had to let her, walk away from this one because the other guy was being a dick.
All right, fair enough.
So he wanted to get shit done with the things that actually pay the bills.
Actually, were important.
So, anyways,
okay,
right on. Well, with that, we'll talk to everybody next week.
See you.
Thank you for listening to the Grumpy Guy BJJ Podcast.
Thank you all for listening. You can find us on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever else you listen to podcasts. Please make sure to subscribe and leave us a review. It really does help and will allow us to keep putting out episodes. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas, hit us up at grumpyguybjj@gmail.com. Also, go to our website, grumpyguybjj.com, and get signed up for podcast updates and get our free BJJ Improvement Starter Kit. That's it for now, so get on the mat, train hard, and talk to you all next week. With a permanent friend, a hermit now, boom. Doggy stool, foggy, cool, got a froggy outside Molly dude. Melvin, Colin, Daisy do, hanging by the lace of their shoes. No trace of the tools, shaped into face, fuck the rules. Snooze, you lose. One eye always open, at times two, no clue, but soon a brief monsoon might give you a view to choose. Stay tuned, include, won't conclude. To the end is near, beware there's consequences for what you do. To me, demon, a devil of many levels, I keep on beating for several of them rebels. Me, myself, and I. Me, myself, and I.